Hello, everyone. Welcome to Critical Weight Theory. And today I'm talking about a song that, for some people, arrived at exactly the right moment. In late 2020, when the world felt uncertain, heavy, and honestly exhausting, the song Hold On to Me by Sofia Carson came along, and, it was good for some people who love pop music like that. So I'm not exactly the biggest pop fan, but I don't hate this song. I checked out the music video and I thought it was all right. You might know Sophia Carson from acting. I'm not really that familiar with her, but she's also a musician. She's steadily built a music career. It's emotional, heartfelt pop, all that kind of stuff. And Hold On to Me, released on December 18th, 2020 through Hollywood Records, and it's one of her most sincere sounding tracks, at least that I've listened to. I can't say that I've listened to many of her songs, but I listened to a couple of them. And the song itself runs just about 3 minutes. It's built around a simple but powerful message. When everything feels like it's falling apart, don't go through it alone. The key lyric says it best. Because when you feel like you've been falling, hold on to me. So nothing rip roaringly original about the lyrics, but you know how it goes with pop songs. Most of them don't have anything that's all that complicated. It's direct, no complicated metaphors, just these vibes of reassurance. The song was written by Valerie Broussard and Daniel Robert Burke, and the production stays clean and cinematic. It doesn't overpower the message. Instead, it builds gently, letting Carson's vocals carry the emotional weight. And I did listen to the original track, and to be honest, I kind of prefer that more in some ways. Um, but I'm sure there are some people who would prefer what she brings to it. And the song isn't about flashy hooks; it's about comfort. It's so I'd be curious to know if people out there prefer this version more than the other one, or what. It's a little bit interesting to hear what would set some people's opinions apart. And the official music video was released the same day as the single in December 18th, 2020, and it has that fully atmospheric, emotional thing going on. It's visually warm in the music video. There's like a lot of intimate and cinematic elements to it, and it doesn't. I'm just gonna say this. Some people probably wouldn't want me to say it, but it doesn't hurt that Sophia is a good looking lady. I'll just say it like that. She appears in elegant, flowing fashion, performing directly to the camera. There's something very intentional about the eye contact. It feels less like a performance and more like a promise or something like that. She's not just singing at the audience, she's singing to them, There's a sort of difference between those two things. You can kind of tell when somebody's just phoning in a performance and when they're at least trying. I don't know the sincerity level. I don't know how real or fake it is, but it sounds real enough to me. And the imagery mirrors the theme of connection, holding on, staying grounded, not giving up, the whole 9 yards. And the video premiered on YouTube on Carson's official channel and was promoted across MTV networks, even lighting up billboards in Times Square at the time of release, from what I understand. It had a full pop rollout energy to it. And honestly, you could picture it playing on Total Request Live back in the day, back when MTV was still a thing and when that show was pretty big, you know? So the context might matter a little bit with this song. 2020 was a rough year that tested people emotionally, socially, and personally, and Carson described the track as a reminder to hold on to each other and hold on to hope. And that message was sort of important for people to hear sometimes at that time. So it wasn't just a random pop song to some people. It had that sort of positive message that they needed to hear. It there was also another song by her called "Guess I'm a Liar," which was another sort of uh, theme, quite different in a way. It's a different song from this one in a lot of basic ways. This one's more about like having people feel good. Guess I'm a Liar seems almost a little bit more like she's being accused of something or something like that. Just with that title. And I sometimes do appreciate songs that are about resilience and stuff like that. That say you're not alone, because that's one of the reasons people listen to music in the first place. So Hold On to Me may not be the loudest or most experimental pop song out there, but it doesn't need to be. It's just one of those songs. Its strength is in its apparent sincerity. Sorry, I was jumbling my words up right there. It doesn't help that I've got a really bad cold too. But anyway, sometimes the most powerful message is the simplest one. When you feel like you're falling, reach for someone. And if you can, be that someone for someone else. Nice and simple message that I think is timeless. And in a year like 2020, or of course, practically any other year, that was exactly what a lot of people need to hear. And that's it for this episode. It was just a simple music video review. Maybe if you're a fan of Sophia's, you could let me know what the song means to you. And if you think the song sucks, if you're a hater, I guess let me know about that too. And I I could maybe just respond to that. Who knows? So if you revisit Hold On to Me, pay attention how it makes you feel rather than just how it sounds. Sometimes music isn't just background noise, it's like a lifeline. And I think that's what these songs are often intended to be. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Well, I probably won't actually see you because I don't have that ability. Uh, but I don't mean that literally, I suppose. I'm getting a little bit sidetracked here. I don't know how to end episodes properly, so I'm just going to say this is over now. Have a good one.